Hi, I'm John. Welcome. I'm from Advantage Subliminal. Now, the last two videos I've done, I've talked about despair and hopelessness. And the title itself gives the feeling of despair and hopelessness, but it doesn't always end up that way. Sometimes what looks like a terrible thing changes things in our life that we could not have conceived before. But let me just take a step back from there. I'd like to talk about just briefly the I Ching, which is a 5,000-year-old book of wisdom or oracle, or it can be used as an oracle. And the I Ching says about man and woman that if you look at a person's past, you can soon determine their future, because what tends to happen is we're on a path and it doesn't change. Now, we may want things to change, we may pray for things to change, but unless we make the change, it doesn't happen. And what can happen is also, because we feel that the feeling that we want change, we pray to our God or gods or whoever it is, or whatever energy you want to pray to, for that change to happen. But it doesn't, not normally in any case. But what can happen is the universe does listen, and something happens that creates enormous chaos in our life, turns our lives upside down, this despair and hopelessness, where all the atoms of our being seem to have been flung about, chopped and changed, been through the ringer, as it were, and it leaves us feeling lost, sometimes isolated, not knowing what to do, where to go. But what the universe is doing is it's creating this change for us inside ourselves. It can't come from outside, it's got to come from inside. Now, in the tarot, there's a card called the Tower, and the Tower is a card that nobody really wants to get because it's about destruction. It's about the tower being pulled down. But in a way, it's also a very positive card, because what it means is all these things that have been holding us back, that we have held on to, gets destroyed when the tower goes down. But it leaves something else. It leaves us a new beginning, something to do, something to make the life that we want to make, or something that we've only ever perhaps dreamed of. So in a way, this chaos, this hopelessness and despair that we feel during that transition can lead to something very positive. So what happens is that we go through this stage, whatever has caused it, and if you're watching this and listening to me, then something may have happened in your life and you'll know what it is. It leads to change. And whilst it might take a while for us to find out what that change is, it is there nevertheless. And in a way, it's a bit like the butterfly. I know you will probably be familiar with the story about the butterfly, how it changes from the caterpillar. Well, in a way, it's a bit like that. We're in this cocoon that we've created in our earlier life, and something happens and we find this change happening. Now, a butterfly transforms and it flies away and leaves the wreckage of what it was before lying on the ground. I say wreckage, not literally, of course, but that's what it looks like. And with us, it's the same, but the only thing is that we don't fly away from that thing that we were before. We tend to drag it with us because it takes time for us to adapt to this newness that we have. So consequently, we're trying to find this new freedom. We can sense it, we can taste it, we can feel it, but we've still got this weight that we drag along. But as we move along, we find the weight the gets reduced as we drag it along. It wears away till eventually it has no hold over us, and then we as it were, fly free, and we are then the new you that we chose to be. And sometimes it manifests itself in different ways. It could be we discover we love to write. We could discover that we love to perform music. We love to become an artist or go on the stage, or something that we never thought we would do before. When it happened to me, when I was going through that change, I found I started to write poetry. Not very good poetry, but it was poetry for me. But it meant something to me at the time. It helped me to express what I felt, what I was going through, and I would normally finish with some positive ending, so that I would always remind myself that no matter what has happened, something good is coming out of it, because I was still there, I could still breathe, I could still eat, I still had good health. So everything in the future was for me to make it what I wanted it to be as best I could. Now, the other part of it is that as we progress and the old part of us starts to fall away and the new part of us starts to become stronger and stronger, the universe still tests us. Don't think for a minute that once that's happened that you're free to go, because what the universe does is it likes to test the things that we value, what we believe to be the truth. Now, the truth is the truth, it always is, but our perception of the truth changes as we mature in life. So what happens is that you might have a very fixed idea in your mind of what a truth is, and the universe will contrive to shake that. If you're aware of the universe, and the universe is aware of you, because again, go back to what I said earlier, so for some people they just stay on that path, they never look right or left, they just keep going forward and nothing ever changes for them, although they might wish for change. But the universe, when it knows that you're seeking that change, instigates it in some way or other that might not seem good at the time, or in my experience, doesn't feel good at the time at all, but it's the very thing you need to shake all these things away that have been holding you back. And so, as you go through life, the universe will continue to challenge these thoughts and ideas that you have. And so therefore, what is real for you will remain real for you. What is an unreal thought, something that doesn't serve you, it will be tested. And you will either let it go or you will struggle to hold on to it. And the universe will continue to test you until such times as you decide that enough's enough and you let it go and you move on. And it will continue to do so throughout your life, but in a very positive way. Once you realise what it is actually doing, it's not there to make you feel bad, it's there to make you grow, to help you to get closer to that great universal truth, that love, the peace, whatever it is that you want in your life, it's helping you to establish that. But ultimately, whatever we want, the pain that we experience, is not something that we should ever try to transfer to someone else, no matter how much we hurt inside, because it's our hurt. We have to deal with it. We have to learn from it and move on from it. But some people, when they feel that way, want to make other people feel miserable. And as I said in my earlier videos, misery loves company. So the important thing is that we don't pass it on to other people, and neither do we accept it from others. We are individuals, we have our own way of moving forward. And what I find for me is that in transition, it's nice to have an anchor, something to hold on to, something that reflects where you want to go. One of the things one of the pieces of philosophy that I really like, and I memorised it, so it would always be with me in times of strife or crisis or whatever. Whenever it comes along, I like to repeat the words to myself, and it gives me strength, and it helps to take away these things inside me. They make me feel vulnerable, or make me feel as if I'm living a life that's out with my control. Truthfully, life is out with our control. We can only control ourselves. But the piece I really liked was the Desiderata. Now, I may get his name wrong. It was written by Max Ehrmann, I think. I will correct that on the written piece in the YouTube so that you have the exact details. But it starts, "Go placidly amidst the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence." Salutary words, very, very important and very, very true to life. And if you seek the path of inner peace, that's a good place as any to start. I commend it to you. Well, thanks for joining me for this wee chat. I hope it helped, and maybe see you again soon. Thank you. May all be well with you. Bye.